follow-up problem that we have here is the following, and I want us to check it out. It says a large aviary keeps birds. So a large aviary keeps birds. There were 250 birds 3 years ago. Recently, the birds are 316. What was the compounded population growth in percentage form? Now, please take note. Let's go here. We will remember very well that when we were dealing with the concepts here, we looked at population growth when we said it refers to the increase in the number of individuals in the population over time. And so population growth has everything to do with what? Compound growth, okay? Which means we would apply the compound growth formula, okay, which can be applied to money, but can also be applied to populations. So what do we have here? A large aviary, which is a population of birds, where population of birds is kept. There were 250 birds 3 years ago. 3 years ago means the principal amount or the principal value or the principal population, 250. This was 3 years ago. So that would mean our p-value is 300. Your p-value is 250 birds. Okay, then that was 3 years ago, so n is equal to 3 years, of course. Then recently, which is in the later on after those 3 years, which means a is equal to recently the birds are 316, so I'm going to write 316. Then what was the compound population? It says what was the compound population growth in percentage form. So we want I. Okay, yeah. And since we want I, remember, I is would give us the population growth in decimal number form. But then if we want it in percentage form, then it means that we would basically want to have to make R, because R is the percentage form that we would want. So we therefore after that say R is equal to, we multiply the I by the 100 eventually, so that we can get the population growth form in percentage, because R means the population growth form in percentage. Okay, the compounded growth population form in percentage. So we use the compound growth formula, 1 plus I to the power n. Our A, what is our A? 316. Our P, 250. 1 plus the I obviously would be what we want. Then to the power what? N. N is 3. So of course, first initial thing we do is we are going to divide both sides by 250 so that we can eventually go and isolate the I. When that happens, that cancels. We are left with 1 plus I to the power what? 3, which is equal to 316 over 250. Then what we do is we take the cube root, because why are we taking the cube root? We want to get rid of this to the power 3. If we had to the power 4, we take the 4th root. If we had to the power 5, we take the 5th root, and so forth, and so it goes. Then that leaves us 316 over 250, which is cube rooted. Then we have 1 plus I. Then we want I isolated, so I would be isolated. We take it over to the other side. 316 divided by 250, the cube root, we just take the 1 over, it becomes -1 that side. Then of course our interest rate, now we'll use our calculator and get that value, but obviously we want R. Remember, if we want R, then obviously R will be equal to the I value times 100. Okay, so whatever we get here as the I value, we are then going to what? Times that by 100. Okay, we are going to times that by 100 so that we can get R, the percentage, and then we will conclude and write the percentage value rounded off to 2 decimal places. So let's try and check now. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use our calculator here so that we can solve this situation. So what do we have here? 316, which we divide by what? By 250. but it would be nice if you have a scientific calculator, you're going to be taking that, putting it in the cube root, right, which is beautiful, right? And then I want someone to, in the comment section, write what they get as the answer. Okay, so you're going to take all of this, take the cube root of all of this, subtract 1. Then after subtracting the 1, okay, you're going to get that value of I. Then you are going to take that value of I, whatever you got here, okay, whatever you get here, you take that, you multiply by 100 so that we can get the R value in percentage, so that we can get to understand what is the compounded population growth in percentage form of that bird population. Okay, guys, I hope that is straightforward and it's very much understandable that when we are dealing with populations, then basically it's very important that we understand that we take into consideration the compound growth formula. But also very importantly, reading into this, it's a level 2 question. A large aviary keeps birds. There were 250 birds 3 years ago. So we must understand that this is the value of P, because this was 3 years ago, right? And remember, we also learned earlier when we were looking at the formulas that for simple growth and compound growth, our A value will always be greater than P. So what are we noticing here? The A value indeed is greater than P. One would have made a mistake if they had read and basically said that the A value is going to be 250 and the P value is 316. Then it would not have actually supported the notion that we have established earlier. So in the comment section, guys, of this video, please indicate what the actual percentage is so that I can see that you guys can utilize your calculator. I'll leave it here.